Welcome, my fellow program and project managers. I've decided to put this together, a course, crash course on program management to help you. I know lots of you have been watching my videos about the program manager interview, and I wanted to give you some more value to make it very clear what exactly you need to be thinking about looking at the world of program management. I call this course the PGM game. I call it the PGM game because program management is like playing a chess game. You have a board of players and you need to ensure that each one is well positioned. You have a board of projects. You need to make sure each one is well positioned. In the world of program management, we have largely two bodies that are very well known. Now, we have some other bodies which I will not talk about today, but the two bodies I want to talk about are the world of the PMI and the world of Axelos, or the world of the OGC, if you want to call them that. But the two main certifications that you hear about, or the standards or the ideas, are the MSP and the PGM, the Program Management Professional, or the Program Management Standard from PMI. So in other words, let's just talk MSP versus Pmbok. Now, I wrote a book called PGM Game to help project managers who want to know more about program management and where they should start. And let me give you the overarching summary, okay? Take it from someone who has been there, done that, worked in the world of program management, and was employed as a result of not my OPM3, which is Organizational Project Management Maturity Model, where I had to study proficiently program management, portfolio management, and project management. No. It wasn't because of that. I got that after I had worked as a program manager. My program manager jobs were as a result of demonstrating an understanding of business, of vision, of leadership, of strategy, and having a project management professional certification. In fact, I didn't have half of the certifications that I have now when I was a program manager at Honeywell and Motorola. A large divestiture from Motorola into Emerson. And also at Honeywell, it was implementing a system for change requests in IT. And there were several factions because it was a global implementation. So when I'm telling you things about program management, listen carefully because this is stuff that works in the real world. I would like to wager with you that of all the program managers in the world, and I have coached a number of them at Amazon and other companies, they are not hired because they have an MSP or because they have a PGM, right? They're not PGMP certified. So going into a job or going into an interview, you are not guaranteed the position because you are a PGMP or because you've got the MSP. What they are going to be looking for, watch this, is business acumen, largely an understanding of how organizations work and leadership. That's really what they're looking for. So if you are looking to go for an interview in program management, make sure your presentation skills are up to snuff. Make sure you truly embody leadership at every level. Every approach, servant leadership, situational leadership, vision casting, recasting the vision, okay? Now, when all those things are solid, this is where we now begin to build the very heavy procedural stuff that the Pmbok and the MSP framework present to you. And those are some of the things I'm going to rapidly cover in this course, okay? So, if you're looking to hurriedly get certified to apply for a position, the news is it is not guaranteed. Now, there are some positions where they say PGMP required or PGMP preferred or MSP preferred. Yes, in those instances, you cannot escape. But for most intents and purposes, you better make sure you got your leadership game on because you could have all those certifications. You get to an interview and you cannot present yourself properly. You cannot present the framework properly. You cannot break down a model, a dependable model, such as the models I'm going to show you today. If you're not able to do that, That's the end. You could look to the person on the left or right. They will probably get the job if they not only have great leadership skills, but are also able to break down a framework for program management and convincingly state where they've used it, how they've used it, maybe even challenges they've faced. So program manager interviews, my friends, are not about frameworks majorly. It's majorly about business acumen, being visionary, being a great leader, being able to understand the business and knowing how to bring all those projects together to give a benefit that not one of the projects alone gives. It's a joint thing. And a lot of programs, they run multi-year, okay? If you're looking for additional learning very rapidly on audio, go to Audible and look for my books, my audio books on program management. All right, with that said, we're done with the intro. Let's jump in. It's going to go very quick, but I've given you the top of the waves and the major points in the first few minutes. All right, so jumping straight in here, my friend. You can see here, I have a program management crash course. That is how I describe it. Now, the very first chapter in the book, and you can get the book, I'll put a link below, is a definition by the PMI and MSP about what program management is. According to the PMI, program management, a program is defined as a group of related projects, subsidiary programs. Let's take that again. I went on mute for a second. I apologize. Let's take the definition from the PMI. The PMI defines a program as a group of related projects, subsidiary programs, and program activities managed in a coordinated manner to obtain benefits not available from managing them individually. Their definition of programs, though complementary, is a little bit different than the MSP program, spelt with a double ME, by the way, being from the UK. In the MSP's definition, they define a program as a temporary, flexible organization created to coordinate, direct, and oversee the implementation of a set of related projects. Now, is your head already pounding now? Very verbose definitions. But I need you to internalize these definitions for yourself. I like the PMIs because I'm quite used to it. I think about multiple interrelated projects managed together in a coordinated way to obtain benefits, to obtain control. And that's why I like their definition. It's quite easy. Now, the MSP's definition, what I like about it is it looks at it as an organization. I like looking at programs as a temporary organization. I like that mentality because you are the CEO of that temporary organization. You got to look at yourself at that caliber of responsibility. You get what I'm saying? You want to look at it one more time? Let's take a look one more time at these very interesting definitions, very weighty definitions, though. Very weighty definitions. Here we go. And let's spread this out on the screen and make it small enough so that you can see both side by side. All right, let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay. All right. So a group of related projects, subsidiary programs, as you can see there, and program activities managed in a coordinated manner to obtain benefits not available from managing them individually. Okay. Then we have the MSP definition, a temporary flexible organization created to coordinate, direct, and oversee the implementation of a set of related projects and transformational activities to deliver the organization's strategic objectives. A program is likely to have a life that spans several years. And I talk about this in my audio books on Audible. If you're looking to learn more about program management, if you're looking to beef up your confidence in program management. All right. Let's go a step further because there's so much stuff that I have to talk about, but I don't have all the time. So I'm going to very quickly go through the slides, and then I'll show you a little bit of the book so that you can get some context about the difference between the PGM and the MSP approach, the PMI's approach, PGMP, and the MSP approach. Now, when it comes to program management, like I said, leadership is key. Program manager has a leadership role. Program manager needs to be communicating with the project managers, leading them, helping them understand the bigger picture, working with the program team and the steering committee. And these two also have a role, right? Program teams, they collaborate, they communicate, they respect the process. The steering committee and stakeholders, they provide guidance, oversight, and they should be engaged. When it comes to stakeholder engagement, we use tools such as stakeholder analysis, and we are intentional when it comes to our communication and our stakeholder engagement. There's a number of examples in my books. So if you look at my Demystifying Program Management, I have a lot of examples, but I'll give you a couple of examples. Like I said, can you imagine if you were working on a divestiture that included several departments in one firm being divested into another firm, and you needing to coordinate for you to facilitate all these professionals and legal people to get them to speak, to be on the same page. So you have multiple departments, and each one of those departments is like a project, and each one has its own project manager reporting into you, the program manager. And that's the nature of work I did once upon a time. And to keep everything moving, you really have to be a great leader, a great people person, and a great communicator. And you need to set up a structure, a process, a system for people to interact, each project, for them to interact, for them to come together, for them to understand which parts are moving, which one's mine, and where does it all come together, and make sure it's not a resounding bang at the end when all these projects are eventually done, when all the legal ramifications are made bare. It should all come together. It should all be seamless. And that's the job of a program manager. So being a program manager, it's less about the procedural project level stuff. It's more strategic. You have to be a mastermind, a business thinker, not just seeing one track. So this is not a job for people who are not big picture people. You got to be a big picture person. And sometimes you even need to wear the hat of the project manager as well. So you're wearing a hat of a project manager on one project within your big program, and you have other project managers that you need to interface with. So it can be a challenging job, to be honest. And those who do it well, they are good leaders, as I said in the very beginning. So the key takeaway and the recap from what I've been telling you, my friends, is program management is all about the coordination, the interaction of projects that are in one bucket. They're interrelated projects. And you as a program manager, your tall order is to keep things moving with clarity, right? It's to ensure that as the timeline continues, things don't go off. The program stays solid. And that's why it's all about leadership, okay? Now, with that said, I want to jump straight into a section of the book where I begin to break down the concept of MSP's program management view and the PMI's program management view. So let's do that. I'll open this up for you. And again, if you are looking for help and assistance in your program management, not only do I have those books on Audible, in my free time, I also mentor, train, and coach program managers who want to get better. Those who want to get to the next level, I help them with their program management game. All right. That's why I call this the PGM game. Let's go to, let's see, this is page 9 in my book. Okay. So on page 9 here, I have a comparison between the PMI and the MSP program, right? Developed by Axelos. So the focus of the PGMP is the management of multiple related projects to achieve organizational benefits. The focus of MSP is managing large-scale change programs and transformational change. The certification, like I said, PMIs is PGMP. It's for professionals with advanced experience in program management. Now, the MSP, on that umbrella, you've got a range of certifications under that umbrella. You got a range of certifications widely recognized in the UK and Europe. Now, PMI is global. The MSP is also held by people globally, but not so much as the PMI's PGM focus and general focus. The approach of the PGMP focuses on aligning with organizational goals and managing complex cross-functional activities. For the MSP, it's focusing on managing the change process, aligning with long-term business strategy. The framework for the PGMP provides a broad framework for governance, stakeholder management, and program management principles. For the MSP, provides a structured approach with defined processes and principles for program management, highly procedural as well. Now, the geographical preference, PMI, more global, MSP, stronger presence in Europe and UK. The industry application is broad for both of these. These can be used anywhere, but for the MSP, it's often preferred in contexts where change management and transformation are essential. That is not to say it cannot be used in other places. Now, when it comes to the philosophies of the PGMP, the strategic alignment of program objectives with organizational goals is big. There's an emphasis on benefits realization and stakeholder management, as you'll see when I show you a couple of the frameworks very quick. When it comes to the MSP, it emphasizes transformational change and delivering new capabilities. There's a focus on aligning with long-term business strategy. The priorities are managing benefits and risk in the context of change. Okay. I will not go into all the other details, but instead, I'll try to get very quickly into the principles of MSP, which I cover in Chapter 3. 7 core principles: remaining aligned with corporate strategy, leading change, anticipating and communicating a better future, focusing on benefits and their threats, adding value, designing and delivering a coherent capability, learning from experience. There's a lot more information under each one. I will not go into every single one, but in addition to this, there are 6 stages in the MSP lifecycle framework. You got to identify a program. You got to define a program, managing the trenches, delivering the capability, realizing the benefits, and closing the program. And as far as the PMI's approach is concerned, because I'm just going to jump a lot of things that I cover in the book about MSP and get into the PMI's approach. The PMI's Pmbok approach is really more focused on strategic program management, program lifecycle management, benefits management, stakeholder engagement, and governance. For that reason, the name I coined for PMI's approach is the GASB, GASBP. And the mnemonic is, I just say, get a big, the B comes first. Let's put the B there. Get a big, that's why mnemonics are helpful. Get a big soda pop. I'm going to explain what these mean. The G, the A, the B, the S, and the P. Get a big soda pop. And this mnemonic just stands, again, for governance, alignment, benefits, stakeholder, and program lifecycle. So I changed the arrangement just to ensure people have a mnemonic that they can remember. So let's talk about the GABSP, Program Management Framework, which I coined, right? It's from PMI. So let me zoom in a little bit, if I can, or at least frame what I'm talking about as I check it out for you. All right, the very first one, number one, is governance. That's a G, right? So get a big soda pop. The G is for governance. First and foremost, as a program manager, governance entails establishing and maintaining effective decision-making process, policies, and controls. The PMI says governance is a framework within which authorities exercise, and they carry on that mindset into program management by saying, understand the policies, the decision-making process, and controls. The A is for alignment. As a program manager, you should be aware of program strategy alignment, ensuring that you are harmonizing the program's goals and objectives with the strategic business objectives of the organization and meeting the needs of stakeholders. So you really do need to understand the organization as a program manager. B is for benefits. All right, when we talk about value, we say value is the net quantifiable benefits. A benefit needs to be understood as something to be managed all throughout the program cycle. And a benefit gives you an advantage, it gives you some value, it gives you some worth. We have different types of benefits. We have tangible and intangible benefits that elevate the program's value proposition. And as a program manager, it's crucial to have a benefits register and a benefits plan enabling a systematic approach to identifying, measuring, and verifying the program's anticipated benefits. S is for stakeholders, and of course, we know stakeholders are people who could influence the program, people who could get value from the program. The program manager has to engage all of these people and manage their interests and various stakeholders throughout the program lifecycle. Last but not least, the P is for program lifecycle. The program lifecycle encompasses the overall management of the program across its defined phases from initiation to closure. And this is where we get a little bit more specific about the tools and a little bit more procedural in the program lifecycle. The mnemonic I have for you here is DDC to understand what exactly happens in the program lifecycle. I just say dudes do cook. It's a mnemonic, right? So the first D is the definition phase. This is where the program's objective, scope, and strategic alignment are clarified. Then we have the development phase, right? This includes the detailed planning. This is where you're going for the kill, right? This is where all those sub-states, the sub-programs or projects within the big program, this is where you plan them in detail. You do project execution, stakeholder engagement, communication, reporting, and stuff like that. And all the things that you do while the program is alive, from planning to executing to engagement to communication to reporting to change management, all that busyness, it happens in the development phase. Last but not least, we have the closure phase, and this involves finalizing and closing the program. Now, it will have activities like ensuring quality standards are met, taking a look under the hood at the smaller pieces of project within the program, making sure that everything that has been proposed, promised, targeted, making sure that you are checking off those benefits. So benefits realization, facilitating knowledge transfer, and preparing for the transition of the program outcomes to operations. That's what you do here, right? And this is where you are effectively managing the closure of the program. So just 3 steps, DDC, right? Define, develop, close. That's really what it's about. And with that, we come to the end of the book where I go into certification choices. The summary is MSP is a framework focused on program management, and the geographical region is predominantly the UK and Europe. And that is not to say that there are not other places in the world where this is used or applied. It could be. It's not about the tool. It's not about the cert. It's about the mind, the great mind behind it. So, I don't get hung up by, oh, I have to get someone with a PGMP over an MSP. No, it really depends. It is helpful if in an organization the MSP approach is used across the board, then just make it uniform. Or in some firms, a PGMP approach may be used. But like I said, there are very few in the world anyway, very few PGMPs. Last time I checked, there were not that many. That's all I'll say. There are not that many. But that is not to say that they're not organizations with PGMP preferred. All right. Now, when your role involves more strategic alignment, benefits management, overseeing a portfolio of projects as a program, and a lot of change management and transformational type of stuff, you could think of MSP, right? And when it comes to you work for an American company or maybe a global company that gravitates towards PMI's teachings and methods and ideas, and you're working with PMPs a lot at the project level, you might find that PGMP is just generally preferred. Okay. PGMP, in my mind, is quite stringent. It's more stringent as far as what they request. Haven't compared the prices recently, but the PGMP is a pricey exam. The training is also pricey as well. If you are looking for PGMP training, do ask a question in the chat, because I will just go ahead and send you my buddy Darren's information. He's trained a lot of people in the world for PGMP, so I would refer you to him if you wanted to do that. But if all you're looking for is like coaching for a program management position or a program manager job, then yes, by all means, reach out to me, because I have a very robust program for coaching the program management job descriptions that you see out there. A lot of my students and clients who I've coached, they successfully land positions because I know what the interview is going to be about. The interview is not going to be about the things that you find in the standards. While that is good, but it's not going to be about that. It's going to be more about leadership. So I have a very robust program manager coaching program. It's based on this book here, Demystifying Program Management, and you can actually listen to that on Audible. So I have a week-by-week curriculum for people who are serious, who really want to be the best program manager version they can. This is a very robust coaching program for people who want to be great program managers. I just tell you straight up, this is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to be able to roll with me on this program, because not everyone wants to go for the long haul. Some people are just looking for a paycheck. No. But if you are really serious and you want to grow in your firm, you want to be a leader in your firm, you don't just want to have a job, but you want to make a difference. If that's you, then you need to be on my coaching program, okay? I will endeavor to put some links below. Please give me some time to do that. Most importantly, I want to get some value to you by putting out this video to start helping your thinking, so that those of you who are thinking of the program manager job and the role and the certification, you got some direction. And then you also know there's someone here who can help you regardless, whatever you're trying to do. I do not have an MSP, right? I'm Prince 2 certified, but I'm well aware of what this is all about in the MSP world. For the PGMP, I am not a PGMP either. I'm an OPM3, and I studied project program portfolio management with the PMI. I actually had to go to a PMI authorized course when I was taking this. The OPM3 is no longer available, but I have very robust understanding and experience of what you need to do to succeed in your program management, portfolio management journey. All right. I hope you found value from this. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, please put them below. I'd love to answer them for you. You take care. I wish you all the very best. Bye for now.